What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday morning, by the way. Good morning. Happy Saturday. If you're watching this, whether you're live or you're watching the replay, welcome. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics. And yeah, usually we do the show at 2. We change some things around. So we are doing this right now in the morning of Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern. So appreciate anybody who's jumping on right now. If you're in the live chat or if you're catching this replay again, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and make sure you hit that little bell notification so you can be notified of all the new content and live streams that I do, which apparently I do a lot of live streams, as people have mentioned to me. So before I get into things, this show is Comic Collector Origins. So if you're not new to it, or if you're not familiar with it, Comic Collector Origins is all about me bringing people from the community on board here to interview. So it's about the community, a way that we can, talk about their origin stories. Any of my guests that I bring on, we ask the questions of, when did you first get started? What did that look like for you? What was your first experience at a Comic-Con? Really just trying to get the origin of the when the hobby started for you. So it's been a tremendous journey. This is episode 43, by the way. We're coming up on the big 5-0. I should also mention, since we're talking numbers here real quick, I actually just hit 700 subscribers this morning. My girlfriend just texted me a screenshot. Who knows if that'll stay at 700? I know that YouTube can fluctuate from time to time, but if you are new, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate that. Trying to grow the channel here, and I do appreciate all the support I can get. I also want to give a big shout out to just the crew. I'm just going to call it the crew. You guys know who you are. Everybody who always takes the time to share these posts that I do for Comic Collector Origins. You guys are amazing, truly amazing. And I really do. It just means so much to me. So thank you for spreading the word. If you've shared my posts before, or even just, talked about it on other shows or whatever the case may be. I really do appreciate the support. Again, the show's all about the community. And the community is just awesome. I love it so much. Everyone that I've met here, everyone that I've met as an interview here, has just been amazing. And I've truly made good friends on here that I can call my friends now. That if I saw them somewhere, I would just it would just be like regularly running into a friend. So it's really cool, really special. So I just want to take a quick moment to say that. So all right, I want to get into to my guest for today. I want to talk a little bit about. Well, first, let me just say I've known her since, I want to say, since I first started my Instagram comic page, which was like 2.5 years ago. I feel like I was following her for at least 2 years or so. And it's really cool because she does everything from cosplay to the comic books, anything and everything about comic book related stuff. I know she's big on video games as well. I know we talked a little bit about board games at one point, and just a really awesome person. So I'm really excited to bring on my friend Anna from Anna Reads Comics over on Instagram. And let me bring her in right now. Anna, what is going on?
What's up, Justin?
How are you?
I am hype, bro.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for taking the time to join the show. I do appreciate that. And like I said, Anna, I feel like I've known you for at least 2 years, like on Instagram, just kind of going back and forth. All the different. Like I said, I think you're doing an awesome job with your cosplay, comic book related stuff. I know you do a lot with. I know you just did like a really cool giveaway, which we'll talk about a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so I just love everything that you do in the community, and I appreciate you again for just taking that time to be on the show.
No problem, man.
Absolutely. And I did put your information in the description below. So if anybody is not familiar with Anna or you don't follow her, please make sure you do. I put the Instagram account. I also put your YouTube account, although it doesn't seem like you use it as much anymore.
Yeah, it's in the works. Definitely going to start back up this summer.
Nice.
Once I have a little bit more time off from work. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's perfect. And so, anybody here, make sure you sub up to her, as well as some content will be coming very soon. Also, I just want to recognize the shirt, Xavier shirt. I love I love your passion for X-Men.
Oh my God.
I got my little where is he? My little Colossus in my pocket. Yeah.
The homie.
Yeah.
Me and X-Men go deep. It was actually more of like me looking through my closet and I'm like, which X-Men shirt am I gonna wear? Not like what
I hear you.
comic am I gonna wear? It's gonna be X-Men for sure.
Totally. I'm slowly building up my X-Men t-shirt collection, slowly but surely. All right, before we get into the fun questions, I do want to take a moment to say hello to the chat. We got 16 people hanging out with us right now, so appreciate
16.
every one of you.
What's up, chat?
We got my man Michael Sove. He says, "Peeps be crazy with the time slots lately." All good, my, he said, because I commented on before, so sorry about that. All good, my friend. I can listen while I'm away. 3 minutes in the basement. So, oh yeah, are you there right now? You're on your way.
Dope.
Awesome, very cool. Yeah, they're doing a really cool comic book swap meet up in Connecticut right now for the day.
In a basement, bro, that's super cool. I would love to go to something like that.
They're good guys. They're really good guys. We got John's Comics with Kids hanging out in the
Comics. Chat. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Apologize now, John, because we'll be cutting into your show, but definitely jump over to yours right afterwards. But I appreciate you, man. Let's see. We got Hillbilly Comics. Hello.
Good morning.
We got my girl Sheena in the house station. What's up, Sheena? Hello. Let's see. We got Raging Cajun Comics, my man. Appreciate you, brother.
Super early morning. Y'all need to wake up early.
Yeah. We got the West Coasters hanging out. Azor's Tiger in the house. He's the one that reached out, said this is really convenient time. It's right before work for him, so he's able to kind of tune in for a bit. So appreciate you, brother, representing Spine Six in the house. We got Jason here hanging out with us, claiming comics. Hello. Good morning. Let's see. We got Ian Hoodrat Comics, also from the West Coast, hanging out with us. Glad you guys. Hopefully, you guys got your coffee. I know I got my coffee here. I got a little water next to me as well because I actually slept in today. It was weird. We got Eric Duran's station brother, the man with the mustache. We got Mama Comic Lucy. Hello.
Comic. What's up, Lucy? Good to see you, girl.
Had Lucy on as a guest here not too long ago. I think about a month or two ago. So another great guest and great person. Bottom tier collector, aka he used to be known as the bearded one. Bearded one. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, he's in the middle of changing his branding. So good to see you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's always a pain to change branding. Comics are great. Also here, what's up? We also got Brother Joe, Station Brother Joe. Good to see you. Let's see, we're getting through it here. We got my man Morbius Comics in the house as well.
What's up, man?
Good to see you. I think we're getting. Let me just make sure. We got Empire Comics. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Coco Gal, hello. Saying Anna.
Good morning.
We got Everyone's Comics. Yes, sir. Let's see. We had there he is. Desired Comics, dude. Nigel. So I don't know if you guys know, Nigel's doing a giveaway based on my channel. Where once I hit 700 subscribers, he's doing a big giveaway, which I just hit. So make sure go check out Desired Comics and his Instagram channel. Nigel will have to do a stream or something here, so we could kind of celebrate that. Appreciate the support, my friend. We got PJ Morris, my man Paul, also hanging out with us today. Paul, I'm curious if you're up in Connecticut today, if you were going up to that swap meet as well. And last person I see is Jake Lee. What's going on, Jake? Appreciate you swinging by. Oh, there you go. What's up, Jake? Good to see you, man. And we got Slim Comics and more as well. Good to see you, Slim. Guys, again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and also make sure you are following and subscribing to Anna Reads Comics over on Instagram and YouTube. All right, let's get into some of the fun here, Anna. Because again, I'm really excited to have you on here as a guest. So I'm going to start this off with the simple question of when did this all start for you? How old were you when you got into, whether that was reading books, usually it's reading books or whatever, however your story goes, but how old were you and what was your environment kind of looking like at that time?
Man, I must have been something like 19 or 20. I was older. I definitely feel like my comic experience was a little bit unusual. Everybody around me kind of always read comics. My brother is like a huge nerd. All his friends, huge nerds.
Yeah.
And I was always kind of exposed to them. And I've been a huge reader my entire life. I read a bunch of literature. I've always been like into English lit. Like I just loved reading ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so there was this one summer that I was home from college and I was bored, man. Like I was just waking up every day, like 1 PM. I'm just kind of, when you're a kid and that summer feeling, and it just got to be July or so. And I was like, man, I'm really bored. Got to do something. And I started browsing through my brother's comic collection, and I just started pulling random books and looking through them. And before I knew it, I was like, these are pretty cool. I kind of want a few of my own. I've
Heck
always
yeah.
been like a huge collector. So
Mm.
as soon as I get into something, it's just like
So
I'm
wait,
all in.
so first of all, I have to ask you, did was your brother cool with this, that you were going through his comic book
For
collection? Like
sure, he
he was
was
cool.
not cool with
Oh, he was
that.
not cool
No.
about it. Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, not
Like,
at
yeah, go
all.
get your own. Don't touch my books.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was just like tearing them out of their bags and boards. I didn't know what I was
Oh
doing.
no.
I think I cut a bag and board once because I didn't know that they were
How to flip them over. Yeah.
Oh man,
I love it. I love it. Hey, you got to learn somehow, right?
I
We go through
know.
these motions. So,
And so luckily my brother, like, he was like, you know what? Let's go to the comic shop together. I'm very fortunate to have, gosh, there's 4 comic shops within a 1 mile radius here
mhm,
in my town. And they're all great, man. Like, wow, they just are always on top of their game.
mhm.
And so I was lucky enough to go and pick and choose from a couple stores and just kind of go from there. And I remember it had to have been right now, like 7 years ago or so, but that's when I first started
Mm.
really collecting my pulls, starting up a pull and just going every week, man. That was my jam.
Wow, that's awesome. So about so
Mhm.
7 years ago. So was so even before this, were
Mhm.
you? I know you mentioned you're a big reader, just in general.
Yeah.
But were you? Was there any other aspects of this particular hobby that may have creeped in, like movies or cartoons
Um,
or even other types of books or any other influence that may have at least gotten you introduced to characters or anything like? Were you familiar with like the superheroes and stuff like that, or
for
did you not really
sure.
follow anything? Or
That's an awesome question. I think that I went to the movie theaters because I was always keeping up with the Marvel movies,
Mhm.
although I don't think that I was as invested as I was after until I started reading comics.
Okay,
But I saw pretty much every X-Men movie in theaters. I always liked X-Men. It was
right,
growing up, I watched, the cartoon growing
the
up, X-Men
cartoon.
the
Okay,
animated series.
right.
Really love that. I also love the one where they're like in high school.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. The
I forgot what that one's called. It's like I'm all nervous right now, so it's
no,
like.
it's okay. Don't be nervous. Oh, I
But
love the cartoons
oh
though.
yeah, and Wolverine and the X-Men. I watched all
Mhm.
those shows, and so I left. I guess it was X-Men Apocalypse. It might have been the one before that, or Days of Future. No, it was Days of Future Past.
Okay.
I left it, and I was kind of like, man, I want to know more about these characters,
Mhm.
and that helped a lot in my comic collecting later, I
I
think.
see. I was just, and that's the other thing I do want to ask you. Do you recall some of the comic books that your brother had that you were kind of going into? Do you remember any of the characters or any
Um,
specific books that you were diving into?
it's weird because I was always gravitating to X-Men. I thought that they were so cool.
Yeah.
And he had a Scotty Young variant for a random run that was going on at the time. And I
Mm.
remember looking at it and being like, this is so weird. There's like baby X-Men on this cover.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
And I asked him about it and he goes, oh yeah, it's just this artist. Like that's what he does. Like that's his
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, that is so cute. Like
Yeah.
I love that. So I loved Scotty Young right off the jump, just
Yeah.
for that. It's weird the things that you remember.
No, totally, totally. But his stuff stands out because no one else does that style.
Yeah.
So it's cool that that stands out to you.
And later I just like even now I love Scotty Young so much. Like he's a great writer and he's a great
Mhm.
artist. And
Yeah.
so it's just and I think that one of the big things is when I first went to the comic shop, my brother gave me great advice. And this is advice that I give a lot of people who
Mhm.
are trying to get into comic collecting. Pick up a number one. Whatever's there. If you see a number one on the shelf, just pick it up. Even if it's for, a team that you're not interested in or DC that maybe you don't want to read. If it's there, pick it up, try it out. You never know. And
Yeah.
he gave me that advice. And as I was walking to the comic shop, he was like, if there's a number one, just get it, take it home. And it was Vision number one by Tom King was actually out that week.
Oh, oh my gosh. And I know how much that book means to you. You're actually one of the people who really influenced me to check that book out to begin with,
Yeah,
because I never read it until I started seeing you and other people really talk about passionately how much this book meant to you.
for sure. And it's to me, it was like the ultimate like wow, this is awesome moment because
Mhm.
yeah, Tom King just became so important to me, and that comic became so important to me, and I feel like my journey on Instagram as well. And yeah, so it just kind of solidified it for me. I started going in bi-weekly after that to get the issues of Vision because I was
Yep.
buying it as it was coming out, and
Coming out. Yeah.
yeah, it just after that I was sold.
Oh man, that's so cool. So cool. I had to I bought it in trade and again I was
Mhm.
super late to the game, but at that point everyone was
It
like mentioning it. I'm
happens.
like, yeah, I'm like, I gotta check it out. And now, so that stood out to me so much. I know people have
Yeah,
mixed feelings about some of Tom King's work, but from what
for
I've read,
sure.
I love it. So that's really cool. I want to say a quick hello to a couple other people here. We got Jeff Schultz
Ooh,
hanging out with us saying good morning. One love from Chicago. Hope everything's well, my friend.
Chicago.
We got my man Fable, Station Fable. Good to see you. I saw also in here Michelle Moonlit Comics in the house. What's up, Michelle?
Good morning, y'all.
I saw bottom tier said I was about 23 years old when I stepped into the comic book shop. I'm kind of glad I started later. I skipped the quote unquote I quit comics for parties and girls phase in my teens. Yeah, yeah, that does seem like for a lot of people that I've interviewed, you kind of hear these stories of people who have
For
taken
sure.
breaks. Obviously, life happens, and who I mean I definitely have taken breaks even just within my.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Anna, but I only started collecting comics less than 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago
Are
for
you
me.
serious?
Dead serious. Yeah. I was
Dude.
29 years old when I started. Uh
Oh my God,
yeah.
Justin.
So
Someone needs to interview you,
don't feel
bro.
bad. Don't feel bad if you felt like you started out late because I definitely and the funniest thing for
Yeah.
me was my dad used to draw a Marvel and DC comic. He used to work for the company.
Stop. That's
Um
awesome, bro.
but because of that, I didn't want anything to do with comics when I grew up. So it was like kind of opposite. And the other opposite thing is I know you mentioned you love reading. I used to hate reading when I was little. To
Oh,
me, it was like,
really?
yeah, I always thought it was like a punishment. I was like, I don't want to read.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go outside and play. So that was like why I think a big part of why I delayed myself. But I finally fell in love with it. I'm glad I am where I am now. So
Yeah.
um we also had Flash by Night. Just want to say a quick hello to Flash. Good to see you as
Good
well.
morning, Flash.
Drop Dead Fred 82. What's up? What's up?
Hey.
I like that name, Drop Dead Fred. My man
Yeah.
Hyper Combo in the house as well. Good to see you, Hyper. And Gino the Dragon. I missed you from before. What's going on, Gino? Good to see you. And Mercy, all the way from
Late to the
Sweden.
party. You're not late, man. You're here
Yeah,
on
no,
time.
no. He's ahead of us. Yeah, he's in Sweden, so he's like, it's like in afternoon for him now. All right,
Wow.
so let's
Way to
so
make
all
me
right.
more nervous, man.
No, no. So I want to talk a little bit about the cosplay stuff that you've been doing.
Yeah.
That's like, what are your thoughts on cosplay? Like, what got you into that? Were you doing cosplay before you got into comics, or that came after as you started collecting comics?
For sure it came after. I think that I got super involved with the comic community here locally. And
Mhm.
so one of my best friends, he runs our Comic Con here in South Texas, and it's a great show. And we just got really close. I became really good friends with the people who run it, and I was at the shows all the time. And
Yeah,
when you're at a comic convention, you're around a bunch of people who are in cosplay or in shirts, things that are nerdy. And you can't help but just get that vibe like, man, like, oh, look at that chick. She's dressed as, I don't know, Scarlet Witch, or she's dressed as something else. And
yeah,
oh, look at that guy. He's got an awesome Batman armor cosplay, like worked on it for a year. You get to talking to them, and you just realize like this is such a fun like branch of comics and comic collecting in the
yeah.
nerd community. And it can be such a fun way to express yourself. And so when I started reading comics, I would look through the floppies and kind of be like, I could pull off a Jessica Jones. I kind of look like her. That's how I think about
Yep.
choosing a cosplay. And so yeah, I just started going from there. But I will say, I want to give a shout out to every cosplayer because that is an expensive hobby. You want to talk about
I bet.
an expensive
Yeah.
hobby. Cosplay is up there, man. I
And
have
I've
to
seen
admit.
some of your costumes and stuff, and that
Yeah.
was going to be something I wanted to ask. Was I'm curious, like, did you make like your WandaVision? So I think of when I see Wanda, I think of you because I know you nailed the Wanda cosplay. So
Thank
for
you.
something like that, or I know you've done like Tomb Raider and some other things like that, but
Mhm.
are these ones that you put together yourself, or were you
Yeah.
able to just find a lot of the equipment, when you went shopping, or
I am extremely inept when it comes to crafting and things like that. I,
Mm,
I definitely have relied on a lot of Etsy shops. So
okay,
they are local people who do cosplay builds.
nice,
and just kind of picking and choosing. It's a lot of searching for what you're looking for, a lot of Amazoning, a lot of returning, a lot
Hmm.
of trying different things, and it's for a lot of people, it is the building that they have a lot of enjoyment in, but that's not my thing. So
Yeah.
I do think that a lot of my pieces, I mean, I've done a couple of small sewing things, hot
Right.
gluing,
Right.
but but for the most part, I do buy a lot of my items or try to support local like Etsy shops, and like my Wanda headpiece that
Hmm.
was like a custom leather face mask
Oh wow.
that I ordered from Etsy, and the guy was just so awesome, and so I always love getting to wear that one.
That is all. Yeah. See, I always wondered.
Mhm.
I didn't consider Etsy, so that makes a lot of sense because I know there's a lot of crafty people on Etsy,
Yeah.
and knowing the quality of some of your costumes, they look great. So I'm like you can't just go to Walmart and buy that. Like that's
No.
you got to talk
Yeah.
to someone or make that somehow yourself. So that is really cool. I could see where that can get a little pricey as well, though.
For
Um,
sure. But
Adding
luckily, I've
that.
got so many good friends in the in the cosplay community here
Mhm.
where I live as well. And they're always up to help with anything that I need. But
Yeah.
taking a break from cosplay just for the time being, because there hasn't been any cons.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So
I feel you there. It's hopefully we are getting to go back to con soon. I'm hoping that things are
yeah.
starting to look better, but yeah, that makes sense. I do see some cosplayers that still do it just for the virtual, being on
Yeah, for
YouTube or
content, for fun.
Instagram. Right. So with that, what do you recall your first Comic Con that you went to and where that was?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually, my first Comic Con was here in South Texas. It's called South Texas Comic Con. That's the one that I usually am able to work with.
Hmm.
The first year I went, I think I just had gone for fun. I was already kind of getting into comics, and I remember being a little bit apprehensive. And luckily, I was able to go with my family. My cousin, my brother went with me one of the days.
Hmm.
And I had so much fun, man. Like,
Yeah.
wow, just getting to see vendors who have boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. Oh man, there's nothing like that. Just being
Just
able
digging
to
in. Yeah.
dig in, talk to a sometimes the old guy. You're just going on for
Yeah.
what feels like hours, but man, it can get fun, and especially when you're looking through some boxes and you find something that you've been looking for, and the
Yeah.
homie knows that you're just so excited, and he's like $1, $2. You're like, oh
It
man.
hooks you up. Yeah. It's a great feeling.
Good feeling. So once I was able to experience that, I was hooked. I was like, I want to go to every show locally that I can.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to travel to too many of them outside of Texas, but
Okay.
yeah,
I was gonna
Texas
ask
has
if you've.
great shows. So,
I've heard that Texas has. Yeah, they have a lot of
oh
great
yeah,
ones. I was curious if you've ever gone to San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con or Baltimore or any of the
I
big ones.
missed out. I had all the plans ready to head to Seattle for not Alamo City. I'm crazy.
Is it Emerald? Is that what you said?
Emerald City Comic Con
Right. Yeah.
in Seattle. And that's exactly when COVID had hit. And Seattle
Oh,
was kind of like
one of the worst
the hot
spots.
spot at
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
time. So I was like, okay, I don't really know what this thing is, but I guess I
Oh
can
no.
go.
Oh, so you were like set to go. You were like planning to
Yeah,
go.
I
Then.
was
Oh
I
man.
was ready to go to
Yeah.
Emerald City, and it didn't work out. But I'm hoping to head over there again because I've got a
Yeah.
bunch of friends out in Seattle that I would love to get together with at some point.
Nice. Yeah, very
Mhm.
cool. I hear that that's a great show. I hear,
Yeah,
that C2E2 is another good one in Chicago that I'd love to go to.
yeah,
That one, I remember almost going to it, and see, that was like the last Comic Con before the pandemic. Like I remember that's the last time I
yeah,
saw a lot of people meeting up, and then that was it. And I was like, man, is that going to be the last C2E2? I hope not, because that's an awesome show too.
for sure.
um,
No, but I mean, goal in life, of course, is to hit
yeah,
up San Diego, New York Comic Con,
same here.
just any of those. I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you're on the East Coast, you let me know because I am planning to go to the Comic Cons once they start kicking out again on the East Coast. So it's a
For
couple good
sure.
ones over here. Baltimore's a good one. New York's a good one. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I've heard
I
about
feel like
all of
people don't
them.
talk about Baltimore enough, and it ends up being a pretty good show. Well, I actually just got tickets to Terrificon. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
about that
awesome.
one. That's in Connecticut, and it's
Mhm.
a little. It's not as it's not as big, but it's definitely it's something. And hopefully that's in August, end of July. So hopefully that goes through. Everybody being
That's
safe and
awesome,
whatnot.
man. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I want to say a quick hello. I saw Double A come in here earlier. What's going on, Aaron? We got 34 people in here, by the way. What's going on,
Oh
everybody?
my God.
Appreciate
That's a
everybody coming
party.
out. Seriously. Lucy says, I started at 28. Yes, you did.
There you
I
go.
remember you telling me about that.
No bad time.
Fable says, explains a lot. I hated reading too. We got my man Steve, Hip Hops and Me in the house. What is up, Steve? Good to see you, brother. Tommy Boxer also here saying, afternoon, y'all. Let's see. Jumping through the chat. We got Sith Lordly also representing Spine Tick. What's up, dude? Over on the West Coast. Sorry, the chat just jumped on me a little bit. Apologize if you guys have questions too for Anna, please feel free to drop them in the chat here. We will address them
as personal as possible, please.
Yes, there you go. my man Bobby here. What's going on, Bobby Station? Good to see you. All right, so I think we're caught up on some of the comments. See a lot of people here hanging out, talking with one another. Yeah, Sith saying just woke up. He's over in SoCal, so there you go. So very cool. I think that's it's I wanted to hear a little bit about your background of the getting into Comic Cons and things like that because of the fact that you were doing a lot of cosplay and things like that. So hopefully we get to see in action again, as things open up again.
I hope so. Very soon, I think.
Yeah, you're killing it. You're killing it. So let's see. I'll talk a little bit about some books. I know you're a big reader, as you mentioned. So do you have a couple books that you're currently reading that you would recommend to anybody? Like what are your top 5 favorites right now?
So I feel like I have mentioned this a little bit, but I am taking kind of a break from comics. I definitely do not have a pull right now. This is probably the first time since I started reading that I don't have a pull. Yeah. But once the pandemic hit, I wasn't seeing myself going every week anymore. And bro, my pull was expensive. Oh my God.
It definitely adds up.
I had to have a talk with myself. I was like, girl, I'm not doing this anymore. And then I started working full time as an educator. And so, after that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to have as much time anymore. Sure. But I do feel like I'm back reading quite a bit. And for me, I think that a lot of people kind of look down on going back and reading some of the oldies. And I don't think that you should. I think that it's such an important part of being a comic reader is having a great encyclopedia of things that you can pull from and different creators that you have an interest in. And so the way that I've always gone about reading comics is finding a creator that I really enjoy, finding somebody like an artist or a writer that I feel like their comics are always hitting for me. They're always doing what I want from a comic to make me happy and enjoy it. And so right now I'm on a big Jeff Lemire bender.
Yes, I love Jeff Lemire.
I'm reading a bunch of Jeff Lemire. I've just been buying more and more and more of his comics. I have a big order coming in of just hefty, Sweet Tooth, Piggy and Balls. I
love it. Yes.
Wanting to go back and take in all of those things that I feel like I missed. Ascender, all of those awesome comics that for whatever reason, because, I go through different phases. Sometimes I'm like, oh, superheroes. And then I'm like, no, independent. I don't want to have anything to do with superheroes.
Yeah.
That's the phase I'm in right now. I
totally get it.
I want a lot of good indie stuff, even though Jeff Lemire has awesome books from Marvel that he's done too. One of my favorite comics that he's done is with the character Sentry. It's just this random mini series that he did 6 issues and
oh wow. I don't think I realized that.
Freaking love that. I love that Century miniseries from him. And
I'll have to check that out.
So yeah, just random things from Jeff Lemire. That's definitely what I've been consuming.
I love it. So did you read Descender and Ascender yet? Or
no.
Are those ones that you're diving into? Okay. So
those are ones that I've been waiting for. It's weird because I went to the comic shop and I picked up Ascender, I think. Okay. That's the second one that came out, right?
Yeah.
So I started picking up Ascender and I was like, what is happening? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then a couple of homies on Instagram were like, hey, you have to read, or you should read Descender first to kind of baseline you for Ascender. And I was like, duh, that makes a lot of sense. So
yeah.
That's definitely what I've been doing.
So I'm glad to hear that. So I just finished reading Descender last year, and this year I've been really diving into Ascender.
Mhm.
Actually, no, it was this earlier this year. I'm getting the years mixed up. But finished Ascender. I'm into Ascender now, and I actually just finished the second trade of that literally yesterday. And it's so good. So I'm glad that you're reading or that you're going to be reading all this. You got to let me know
Yeah,
later when you catch up
for
what your
sure.
thoughts
I
are.
mean, the comic orders have been taking forever
Mhm.
from any distributor that I've been buying from. So I
Yeah.
bought those comics like 2 months ago, and
Oh wow.
so
So you're
I'm
still
here
waiting.
like
Yeah, like let's
where
go.
they.
Oh man,
Because
that's
I'm
brutal.
not a big like digital comic reader. It's just
Okay,
never been my thing. But I've
sure.
had to kind of resort to it at
Yeah.
some of the points here because it's taken a long time to get the books in.
Yeah, that's what one of the things I like about digital is that you can grab it on the go.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to say I want to highlight here. Gino saying I had the same reaction at my first show, looking at all the vendors, boxes, and walls off the books. It was great. See,
Awesome
he's also saying
feeling.
Emerald City Comic Con was fun. Seattle was yeah. That's hopefully one day be able to make that.
One day, get over there.
I was just going through. Let's see, where was the other one? Drop Dead said I've only been to South Texas Comic Con in Laredo, Texas. Never been to a big con, but maybe one day.
Yes.
Very cool. And Smarty Cartoons, what's going on? Welcome, welcome.
What's up, man?
We still got 30 people in here. Make sure you guys are following Anna. I put all our information in the description below. So make sure you sub her up on YouTube and follow over on Instagram. Wanted to see if there's anyone else here that mentioned. See, Coco said that's why I'm just focusing on Bronze Age stuff right now. Modern's getting too
Yeah,
expensive.
I feel that
Um,
way too. I
uh,
do.
One thing I wanted to mention too, and with what you said with a lot of the older books, is that I mean,
Mhm.
I like to look back at them because this is where the ideas initially came from, like the stuff like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, like reading
For
some of
sure.
those early Silver Age books or anything of that nature. While the writing is different than what we're used to
Yeah.
in today's world, I think that as long as you have that mindset that, okay, I'm about to read a book that's from the 60s, and have that understanding that, yeah, there's going to be some corny stuff, just
Yeah.
accept that this is a different time back then. And that's what I like, is it almost gives you like this, like travel back in time almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of a vibe to like, read what kids were reading back then. And knowing that that's where it all started. So it's a great point that you bring up.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I wanted to. Was there another one here? Lemire's Moon Knight run. See, I've not read. I didn't know that he did
Yeah.
Moon Knight. That's really cool.
Super good Moon Knight run that he
Mm,
did not too long ago. Jeff Lemire was really under the radar when he was there at Marvel. I think he even did a couple of X-Men books, if I'm not mistaken.
mm,
And he just writes really well. He understands characters really well. And
yeah,
like I said, dude, when I get obsessed with something, like I'm
you're all in.
obsessed.
Yeah,
And so, like, for me, it's just so weird because I don't feel like I may have the normal comic consumption that a lot of people do. I
yeah,
just love artists and writers. I
yeah.
love them. I get into their stuff a lot. And I think that it's helped me because I start reading stuff that I may not have normally would have read,
Sure.
like Moon Knight. I'm not super interested in that character,
Yeah.
never was. After I read that, I was like, I can go and read a little bit more Moon Knight stuff,
Right.
and then the show's coming up. And so,
That's true.
it's interesting to kind of go that route because if I were to be like, I'm gonna read every X-Men comic, I would have stopped reading comics a long time ago. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you hit a dead end and there's no way to go
That's a
from
good.
there. So
You're absolutely right. There's some writers. I mean, I just you can just trust, that
yeah,
the writers, no
yes.
matter no matter what they're writing on. And I'll be honest, I was not a big fan, or not even that I was a big fan, but just didn't know enough about Vision to want to really
Yeah.
care about Vision until I read Tom King's The Visions, and that gave me this whole other spin on things where I'm like, whoa, this is a really interesting angle at the character that I never even pictured the types of emotions that you could get from a character like this. So kudos to the writer Tom King who got
Yeah.
me into that, because again, I wouldn't have explored that otherwise. So I do think it is important to consider the writers and the creators and artists that you're reading, even more so than just the particular character, superhero, or whatever it is that you may be following.
Absolutely.
We got Fuzzy all the way from Scotland. What's going on, Fuzzy? Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Let's see. I think we're caught up here at the moment. Do you have a couple books that you want to show off, something that might mean something special to you?
Sure. I feel like, well, so a little bit of Jeff Lemire goodness. I just have some Gideon Falls. This
Oh, yeah.
is just one of my favorites of his at the moment. I think that I never liked horror. My boyfriend's a big horror fan, and
Mhm.
so as I've started to get to know him and us hanging out and stuff, I'm like, horror is a genre I haven't really given a good enough chance to, and so I think this is a good introductory route to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really into like Stephen King and things like that. So
Mm.
those have been fun. And they was it DC had all those interesting horror comics a couple months ago.
Mhm.
One of my favorite X-Men comics of all time. God
Yes.
Loves, Man Kills. I can honestly say this is the book that I recommend the most when it comes to X-Men. It's just a short little trade paperback, usually really cheap, and
I
it's
love it.
just a great introduction to the team and to what the concept of X-Men is and how important it is that that we go back to our
It,
roots. Plus
it,
Chris Claremont, can't go
yeah,
wrong.
exactly. I was going to say it definitely hits home in a lot of ways for the
Mhm.
real world and what, I mean, that's what I like about the X-Men in general too. It's just how relatable it can be in so many different ways. And that book right there. So I read that for the first time this year. I
Oh
think it was
wow,
this year. So I've been doing
yeah,
an Omni X-Men show with John's Comics with Kids where we've been breaking down Chris Claremont books, but
right,
I just never read that particular because we've been going back to the earlier Claremont stuff.
yeah. Because I
Um,
mean I always have appreciation for the earlier like Giant Size X-Men.
oh,
Obviously this is a big old book that I have, and
I
this was
love
one of the
this.
good ones that I was getting into, and it kind of gives a good encompassment.
Nice
Encompassment
hardcover
is
too.
not a word. It's a hardcover. I got this for so it collects, a lot of the Giant Size X-Men #1, classic X-Men, and it collects a lot of the origins of the characters too. This is an awesome book. I've lent this out a few times, and
Nice.
yeah,
Can I see
so
the
I
cover?
really like this one.
Can you
Yeah,
hold that?
it's Alex Ross.
Very. Oh yeah, that is awesome. Oh, I need that in my collection. Darn it.
I know, dude. This is
Why you
this is
gotta
a good
Why you gotta
book.
show that to me, Anna?
I just, man, this is one of my favorites, and I honestly feel like I love books like this because it is one of those things where you can pick up. So, like,
Yeah,
if
totally.
you're a person who's interested in X-Men, you can pick up something like this. Giant Size X-Men, you're never gonna. I'm sorry, I don't know if we can cuss on this show.
Yeah,
You're
no,
never
you're
gonna
right.
get Giant Size X-Men #1. I'm so sorry. It's not probably gonna, or X-Men #1 in
It's great.
general. And so
Yeah,
I love these. They always reissue new printings of those books, and
yeah.
they're fun to pick up and just kind of go back and read through. So
Man, I am gonna have to get that hardcover. I love that.
it's a good one.
Yeah, seriously. See in the chat here, I saw Mercy saying, "I love going back to read older stuff. I've been reading ASM 1 through 230 and a couple of Hulk, FF, and Daredevil.
I
Very cool
never got
stuff."
into Spider-Man. That's another avenue for me. I need to try out.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I haven't done enough reading of Spider-Man to
Yeah.
that you would think an average comic book fan would be reading. So
Mhm.
I'm with you. There's a lot to explore. I hear the new stuff's not been great lately, but maybe I'll go
Well,
back and read some of the old stuff. I don't know.
yeah, for sure.
I saw Eric here had a question. Said, Anna, do you think who do you think will be the first official announced mutant to hit the MCU?
Oh my
Ooh, that's a good
God.
question. Very good question.
How much time do you got?
I know,
Like,
right?
this is something I can talk about this for hours. Oh my God. I think, like, in the WandaVision show, just them having Quicksilver in there was
Mhm.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God. I remember screaming at the top of my lungs when I saw that. My boyfriend looking at
You're
me like I
freaking
was
out.
literally insane because, like, it was so heavy, and it's such an important segue into bringing the X-Men into Marvel,
Yeah,
which into the MCU, which is like, I've been waiting for this
it
for so
has to
many
happen.
years.
It's happening. It's got to happen eventually.
Who do I think will be the first one that they bring in? Maybe Magneto. I feel like that might be a good avenue to go if you still want to keep with the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver storyline. Magneto would be an awesome character to bring in.
Absolutely.
But man, how do you recast these characters? I don't know. If you do at all, I don't know.
Right, right. Man, it's going to be interesting. I really hope when they do it, that they do it right, that they get the right, fit for each character. And,
Yeah.
there's
I
just,
mean,
it's so many mutants, so it's tough.
it's but it's also good in a way because it's like, you know, they tried with the New Mutants, which I think was a great concept, and had it come out at a different time, I think
Mhm.
it would have come out
Sure.
and well received.
Yeah.
But I think that there's so many different routes that they can take. There's still the, you know, open story of Laura Kinney with the Logan movie. If they wanted to go the X-23 route, they could totally do that, which
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
That'd be awesome.
But there's just so many ways that they can do it. But I think that Kevin Feige and the rest of the people at the MCU, they know what they're doing.
Yep.
They've always had their finger on the pulse of what's going to be the most well consumed by people who enjoy these movies and stuff. So
Agreed. This was a perfect question for you because I know you're a big fan of the MCU in general. I always see your stories and you're talking even just throughout the films that have come out, and then obviously the TV shows as they've been coming out.
yeah.
You know, I know you're very passionate about it, and I'm the same way. So, Eric, thank you so much for the question. I appreciate that. Chris Lopez, what's going on? I got issues here. My man says Lemire built old man Logan. Did not realize that, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how him and Sorrentino first met. That's awesome. Had no idea because the Gideon Falls stuff. I love Gideon Falls. I actually that was another one for sure.
So like another thing is I love comic team ups, and Andrea Sorrentino and Jeff Lemire have such an awesome team up, and they did amazing work on Old Man Logan, and they just hit it out of the park with him. And I think that the reason I love the movie Logan so much is because of Jeff Lemire's work on that book. And it's just like, there had been nothing like that at the time, to take a character who was so beloved and make him old, make him aged, make him weak, you know, susceptible to different things that he may not have been in his prime. And oh my God, what an awesome concept. And then they just went and ran with it, you know, Old Man Hawkeye, and then who knows, Old Man whoever next. But such a fun, you know, blast off point for that.
Absolutely. I see my friend Bill here says Tom is the best with the obscure characters, talking about Tom King.
Yeah,
definitely agree there. I know he did from what I've heard, an amazing job with Mr. Miracle, which I have not read.
Mr. Miracle. This is another book I wanted to show. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Hold it up. Oh, that's
Mr.
a beautiful
Miracle
cover.
This is the deluxe edition. I got this recently for Christmas, I think, or my birthday. One of those. My birthday. And I freaking love obscure characters. It's like one of my favorite things about comics is that random guy in the background, oh, that's Blob or whatever. I want to know more about him. Tell me his story. I love an obscure character.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. I have all of any Tom King, that's so embarrassing. Any Tom King like hardcover trade paperback, I have every single one. I'm not a single one. So
oh man, I love it. No, I love the commitment and the passion for that. The hardcovers, I'm slowly exploring, and it's dangerous because that definitely adds up on top of buying comics and everything else. Kills the wallet. Steve here saying Gideon Falls is amazing. Comics are great. Saying I love Justin's streams. I appreciate that, man.
There you go, Justin. Get that.
Bill says stay out of the barn. Yeah, seriously, not going in there. Let's see. We got my man Perry Comics in the house. What's up, Perry?
Hey, what's up, Perry?
I saw some other names in here. Let me jump down real quick. Sorry guys if I'm missing your comments here. We got Geek Out with Roscoe, my man Roscoe with us hanging out. We also got Jojo Flicks and Comics. What's up, Jojo? Thanks for stopping in. Okay, I think I got everyone at the moment. Yes. So the other thing I want to ask is your collection that you have right now. You know, what is the goal? Like I know you got a very big book for, I think it was your birthday fairly recently. Am I right? Right. So
it's right here in my office.
Please do. You got to show that.
My boy.
Look at that. Hold on. Let me blow this up here. Yeah, that is beautiful. Very nice. Very, very nice. I saw you recently. Am I right? Was it your birthday? It was your birthday?
It was my birthday.
Okay.
I got a good man, I have to admit.
Happy belated birthday. And yes, that's awesome of him to get you that. It's so special. Obviously, as you're talking about how much the book means to you and that character means to you, it is really, really cool. So my question is, and ties into this and everything else that you have, is what is the big picture for why you collect? I know you said you're taking a break right now. I assume you'll get back into the things eventually. You know, with special books like that, you know, especially, do you plan to keep those? Are those are I imagine those particular that type of book is a long-term keep, something you're going to keep forever type thing. Do you see yourself at all selling books down the road, handing them down to family members or kids one day or whatever? Or or like a book like that, would you take it to the grave with you? Like, what would be kind of the goal for you with some of these big
It's
books?
so funny because when you said selling or giving away, literally my heart.
Yeah. Like never, nothing, none of them are going anywhere. No, I hear you.
It's man, because I have a big a single issue collection. I have a very large single issue collection, and half of it is at my mom's house. I recently moved into a home with my boyfriend, and so half of my collection is here, half of it's at my mom's. And I went to her house yesterday, and I'm looking at all of my boxes, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
When I say I've stopped collecting, I mean like I've stopped collecting single issues, and I've started collecting trades and hardcovers and collected editions. I think that that's going to be the more approachable route for me in the next few years. I don't really have a big interest in single issues right now, but it's just because of how big my collection has gotten. Not to say that that's a bad thing. And I definitely don't necessarily see myself parting ways with, with special books. But I think that I do have a lot of collected single issues from runs that I don't necessarily want to keep, or I'd rather just update and put on a hardcover or something.
Sure.
And so I'm fine with that. I think that selling in the next couple months or years is definitely something that I'm going to look into because I've got a lot, and I want to share with the community too, and
Sure.
Even things like giveaways. Like I've got so many multiples of books that I don't mind parting ways with if it's going to a good home. And so, I definitely, but I think like every comic collector has holy grails, right? Like
totally.
They have that comic that they just want, man. It doesn't matter if it's battered up, stepped on, covered in chocolate syrup or something. Like I want it. I want it.
Yeah.
And it's got to be X-Men #1. It's got to be for me. That's my end goal.
Right above
my head. Should it ever happen? Yeah, dude, I freaking hate you. I think I tell you that like every single week, how much I hate you.
One day, I hope you get it. I hope you get your copy one day.
It's in my future. I feel it. Just getting this, it's not the highest grade, but man, I want this so bad.
Absolutely. I like the saying, low grade is better than no grade, because at least you have the book. I mean, you have it, and it's in a nice slab. It presents very well. If you didn't tell me that was a 3.5, I would think it was even higher than that. It looks very nice.
I do think this is one, should I ever want to crack it, I could definitely get a higher grade on this one. I've got a great friend who runs a cleaning and printing press, and we've talked about like cracking this one open, because there's no way it's a 3.5, except if there's something inside of it that I don't see. But
you never know.
But I don't know.
Something
you never know. But
it can be a scary process, but it could be worth it, if you take the risk. I see my man Morbius saying you need to crack that slab. Morbius is actually very anti-slab, so that's why he's saying that. He's not saying that. He likes the raw copies, which I respect. But for
sure. Different strokes, man.
Fable saying happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Bottom saying I'm rampaging on the internet for Mr. Miracle books right now, buying it all, and I'm stoked for the Shiloh Norman series dropping Tuesday. Oh, I didn't even realize that.
They're kind of going on from what Tom King did, and they're doing another Mr. Miracle run. Different creative team completely, but it's something I wanted to pick up too. I had seen the solicitation for that, and I thought about it, but
nice.
Again, not really going to the comic shop that much. So, and it's funny because I had gone a lot recently to work with one of my local shops here for the giveaway, and I was just there like, I got to get out of here, man.
I'm
about to buy up the store.
I see a question here that I don't want you to answer yet, Anna, because it's part of my rapid questions. But Ragin, I just wanted to highlight Ragin Cajun Comics says, Anna, do you have if you could pick a mutant, who would be your favorite? Don't answer that yet. Hold on to that thought.
I already know.
Let's see, a couple others. Oh, I saw Sove said he's sorry guys, the chat just jumped on me. He said he just made it the comic swap. Nice to hear your story, Anna. I'll check out your Instagram and catch the rest on replay. Michael, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so last question before we get into the other rapid questions is if you could give one piece of advice to anyone that's brand new to reading, if they're just considering to get into, doing more of this? Sorry, I think, oh, there's an alarm.
Someone's alarm's going off.
Yeah, no, that's not good. I think is that a fire alarm? No. That's not. Yeah, so if you knew someone that was just getting into it for the first time and they wanted some advice on, like, Anna, how would I start, or how do I go about this? What one piece of advice would you give to someone brand new just getting into comics?
A lot of people come to me and ask me this question, and I think that it's one of those things that I never get tired of giving advice on, because I think it's important to have, I think the best thing that you can do is pick up something and read it. If you don't like it, find something else. I think that a lot of the times we'll pick up a comic that was recommended a lot, or if it's like a Batman, so like you'll go in and you'll get, Batman, whatever is there on the shelf, and you're reading it and it's like issue 152 and you're like,
Right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Do not let that discourage you. You can't. You have to find another avenue. You have to use resources, Google, Instagram, try to find someone who you can talk to about it. I'm sure that, there's so many articles out there to help, but, if you want to get into a specific character, Daredevil, then go and look up what is the best Daredevil comic. Right. And then buy it and then read the best Daredevil comic, even if that's like the apex, even if that's the best that has ever come out about him. Right. I think it's important to read those things, and don't go to a comic shop and get overwhelmed. I feel like a lot of the times you go in and there's so many books and you talk to the guys, sometimes they're not super nice or they don't have enough time to kind of sit there and help you through it. But just go in with an open heart and being willing to consume anything. And knowing that, even though you loved Batman growing up, Batman comics may not be for you. You may not like them.
Sure.
And indie comics, don't sleep on indie comics. Like,
I'm with you there.
I always tell people that. Don't just go to Marvel and DC because they've got the big ones. Like, indie comics is where it's at.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Easy to get into. You don't have to have almost any prior knowledge. Pick up Saga. Just read Saga.
Yes. That's another one I got up there.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yes, I love Saga. I know you're a big fan of Saga as well. Well said, by the way. This is just great, great advice, because I like to have this part of the segment, or this segment of the show where we're talking about this, because I know there are new readers coming into this hobby every day, especially thanks to the movies, the TV shows. I keep pointing over here because that's where my TV is. But the Disney TV shows and things like that, like, they're encouraging people to explore the books, and so to add on to that, what you're saying is really take time to explore those characters, explore some of the popular classics, the classic reads that a lot of people have enjoyed. And maybe it's not for you, and or maybe it is, but either way, you've given it a shot, and if it's not for you, then just move on to the next thing, but don't get overwhelmed. I do think that this is it can be an overwhelming hobby, especially to someone new. Like you said, I know when I first went into the comic book store, just looking around, like, oh my goodness, so many books to read. It's like, we're literally asking the question, where do I start? Like you said, go in with an open heart. Keep it simple. Don't feel like you are obligated to read everything. Just go at your pace. And I think that's well said. Louis says, that's me, a noob. Rage is saying,
I miss being a noob. I do. I miss not knowing anything, man.
Right. Hey, we're still learning, right? I mean, there's still a lot to learn every day. I know I'm still learning a lot of things every day.
For sure.
Ragin saying, just about to get into Saga. Dude, that is exciting.
For a treat.
Yeah, super exciting. Let's see. Steve saying, love them indies. Absolutely. Yeah, great call on the indies. I totally agree. He's about to order some of those books, those black crates. Oh, yeah.
I need those, man. I really do.
I like that they can stack and they lock, so they don't slide off each other or whatever. Well, this is awesome, Anna. I really appreciate this, and I want to get into some of the rapid questions before we kind of close things out here. So again, we got 26 people hanging out with us. Thank you all. Make sure you are following Anna. Put the information in the description below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up as well. That helps the channel, and subscribe if you are new. I want to highlight this. Fuzzy says, I am one of those new beginners. I got into comics through my Funko collecting. Great advice. Oh, there you go. Very cool. And that's another avenue that people have gotten into thanks to the Funkos and stuff like that.
Funkos and collectibles, they go hard.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Louis says Anna giving off those Electra vibes. Love the hair. There you go.
Stop. Electra's. As soon as someone tells me I look like a character, I'm like, cosplay.
There you go.
Cosplay.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Put it on
just,
the
that's
list.
so funny. Electra, oh my God, I gotta work
Yeah.
out.
All right. So rapid questions here, Anna. I call them rapid questions. They're really in quotations as rapid because they're not always rapid, but we try to keep them rapid. My girlfriend calls me out. She's like, they're not really rapid. Because my friends, everyone usually elaborates, and I do want to hear some elaborations on certain questions. But we'll try to go through some of these as we're wrapping up the hour here. So first question is, if you had to choose just one character to be your all-time favorite character, and this kind of ties into that X-Men question that came up earlier, who is your number one favorite character of all time?
This is a very easy question for me. Anyone who knows me knows that it is Storm, Aurora Monroe, my favorite character of all time, bar none.
Hell yeah. Yep, I am with you. Absolutely with you. Love Storm. Great choice. And there you go, Raging. If you're still hanging out with us here, there's your answer. As you were at look at here. There he is. He says not rapid. Yeah,
not rapid. It is Storm. Storm is my girl. Cool. Always has been. I love her. She's
love
the
it,
best.
Love it. If you could have a superpower, what would that superpower be?
Well, weather manipulation is cool. But I freaking hate driving. I hate driving. Teleportation would be awesome.
Oh, yes.
Being able to just like go to a different country or a different, city or whatever. That would be great.
Bamf.
Yeah, bamf. It out, Nightcrawler style.
Yeah, I love that. Great pick. Great pick. Who's your favorite? We'll keep this current. Who's your current favorite artist, comic book artist? Who comes to mind?
Probably Mitch Gerads, which is the home King. Usually he's a great artist. Mitch Gerads is up there. I also really like Scotty Young, but Andrea Sorrentino is up there too. Those three I can definitely say I like a lot.
Right. We'll let it slide. We'll give you three.
I'm cool with Capullo. I haven't given DC any love. Capullo's cool.
I love that you share the love. I love that you keep it. Got to share the love. Let's see. Next question is so what was the last comic book that you read?
The last comic was Wonder Girl. Number 1.
Oh yes. What did you think? What did you think?
I think it's awesome. I think that I'm so excited for Wonder Woman to get like a revamp, for Yara to get her little moment there, and people are into it. They're really receiving her well, which makes me happy. Anytime that someone comes in and takes on like a title or something like that, it's a little apprehensive, but people are really into Yara.
Totally. I love Yara, love Joelle Jones, love all her work that she's been doing. The artwork in that book is amazing. Highly recommend it. For sure.
Joelle Jones is up there too with Jenny Frison as well. They're just awesome illustrators.
Oh, they've been killing it. Absolutely. Okay, if you had to choose new team versus old team of X-Men, like Claremont, new team, or the original X-Men team, who's your choice there?
It's got to be the new team.
Yeah.
I love the original 5 X-Men. It's Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, and Angel.
Yeah.
Right? Great team, kind of boring characters. The new team, Giant Size X-Men team, there's nothing like it, man. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. If you had to choose one of your favorite superhero movies of all time, what is your favorite superhero movie?
It's Logan, for sure.
Ooh, okay. I like it. I like it.
It's X-Men. It's a little bit dark. It's a little bit twisted. It's not so much a superhero movie, but it is. Logan is so underrated. But if it's not Logan, I'm a fan of Winter Soldier. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. It's a great movie.
That one's probably my favorite. I feel like.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to dip into any of the MCU stuff when you answered that question, but Logan is definitely Logan is up there for sure. I really enjoyed that, and obviously it's Wolverine, so you got to love that. Let's see. Next question is, if you could go back in time, like literal time travel, and you could go shopping for one comic book that you could buy off the shelf for cover price. What would that? And it has to be a book you keep. It's not something for resale. You literally have to keep it for the rest of your life. What would that one comic book be?
Why are you doing this to me? You know the answer. X-Men number 1.
X-Men number 1. See, so I was questioning because you are such a Storm fan. I was wondering if Giant Size was up there.
But to me, like Giant Size is a much more attainable book. I do think like it's easier to come across, and
Mm,
usually it's not as expensive as
that's
X-Men
fair.
#1.
That's fair.
But man,
X-Men one
X-Men
has
number
some
one.
years on it. Yeah, it definitely has some years on it.
She's old, yeah.
Both of those books are going up now. It's getting kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on with the market nowadays, but yeah. So great choice though. Definitely would love
Mhm.
to hopefully you get that at some point. Okay, I want to let's see. I think that was all of my comic book related stuff. Unless did I miss one? No, I didn't. I just want to ask you some non-comic book related stuff, and then we will
Okay.
kind of close things out here. By the way, highlight the chat here real quick. I see Kitty
I
Pride
love Kitty.
representing.
I
He says Howard
love
the Duck.
Kitty.
Raging Cajun says need a Gambit movie. There you go.
Need a Gavin. Yeah.
He's a big
Yeah.
Gambit fan. Fable says Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU movie. That's fair.
Mhm.
Look, even Denthead says ready for some Gambit. Interesting.
What's his name?
Um,
Said he wanted to do it forever. Forgot his name.
uh,
The dancing guy.
one of the actors. Oh,
Yeah. I forget his name. Married to Jenna Dewan something.
oh, I'm bad
How
with
do I know
names.
his wife's name but not him?
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. All right.
Tatum, Channing Tatum. There you
Oh,
go.
Tatum. Okay. Oh, yeah.
He
That
wanted
would
to
be
be
interesting.
Gambit forever. That's
Oh, wow.
that's his baby.
Interesting. All right. So let's see. All right. Let's start off with: are you into any sports? And if you are, what are your favorite sports and sports teams?
That's so random.
This is
Obviously, I'm a
all
huge
non-comic. All
nerd, so I
non-comic.
love sports. No, I like basketball. I watch Spurs
Okay.
basketball. I'm a Texas girl, so gotta
Okay.
rep my home team.
Nice.
That's literally it.
Okay.
Just
All right.
Spurs basketball is
That's
it.
fair. That's fair. Let's see. What about? I know we talked about music in the past. So what? Where do you stand with your favorite genre, and what is your like current favorite band or artist that you're listening to right now?
Oh man. My boyfriend's a musician, and so he's introduced me to a lot of really awesome music because I had zero musical taste before I met him. I am proud to say I have the trashiest taste in music. But he's really gotten me into some metal, thrash, all sorts of rock, progressive music. And so
Nice.
right now, my favorite band is a band called Opeth.
I was gonna say, I know you and me were talking Opeth earlier, and I love that you're getting
Yeah,
into Opeth now.
so weird. I never thought that I would have, but Opeth is an awesome band. They're just so, we were talking about it last night, easy listening, fun, thrashy, metally, but also melodic. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, Opeth is great.
I love it. They have so much because I mean obviously they have a big catalog, but they have heavier stuff, they
Mhm.
have lighter stuff. I do feel
Mhm.
like anybody could get into it. It's like
That's what I was saying.
yeah.
I feel like anyone could get into Opeth if they gave it a chance.
Yeah. Like have you listened to Damnation, that album?
Oh my God,
So
stop,
that's like your
Justin.
okay. That's like for me that I needed that to get into them. Like I needed
Yeah.
that and Watershed were like my two big
Oh my
albums that I
God,
got
bro.
into.
You
So
know
yeah.
so much Opeth. That's so
Oh,
random.
I am a huge Opeth fan. Huge
What
Opeth
the
fan.
hell, man?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. We got to talk more later then.
Absolutely. All right. So love that you love that. Love that you're getting into that.
Mhm.
And kudos to your boyfriend for getting you into some awesome metal there. Really happy for
Yeah, he's
that.
a cool guy.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Does he play heavy
Oh
metal?
yeah.
Is that okay? Is he in
Yeah,
a band or
he's in a thrash band. He's a
nice?
guitarist,
Okay.
super talented. He's a
Sweet.
lefty, so he's a cool
Nice. I
guy.
love it. Love it. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff. Another question for you here. This is something I know you and I've talked about in the past. You've given me some recommendations. I've thrown some your way. What is your favorite board game that you like to
Yeah.
play?
I'm a big board game player. We're actually in the process of wanting to make our own board game just
Oh, no
because
way. That's cool.
there's so few, and you know how it is, when you live with your significant other, you want to play a two-player board game, and
Yeah.
there's not really that much out there, which is the conversation I had with you.
Yeah.
I love a good Clue. Clue's one of my favorites. Not a two-player, but still, I could play
Great game.
Clue whenever. Monopoly's fun, not my favorite. Battleship, we've gotten super into Battleship.
We just picked that up not too long ago too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's easy. There's this new Battleship that I have that's like it's called Space Battleship, I think, and it's like a 3-decker. So you have one board
What?
here, another one. I gotta send you a
Oh my
picture
gosh.
though.
Yes, please do. What the
It's
heck? That's
awesome.
crazy. I never heard of that.
The game is a lot longer. It's a lot more complicated, but man, and my boyfriend never wants to play with me because I always freaking kick his ass. But
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
yeah,
I never heard of that. A
mhm.
triple layout.
Triple decker. Yeah,
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely have to send me some more ideas later because I know we've talked about it before, but we're always looking for new games, trying to play some different card games right now. We got into the card game version of Monopoly. It's Monopoly cards. Have you ever seen this? And
I've
it's
never seen that.
Oh, it's a really good two-player game. I mean, you can play more people if you want, but you don't need it.
Mhm.
It's literally like a deck of cards. It's like 2 or 3 sets of like cards, but they're all Monopoly focused, and it's a little bit of a different version of the game. I mean, you still are like owning properties and things like that, but it's
Yeah.
you're drawing cards. I don't know. It's really interesting. And we just gave it a shot. We saw some other people talking about it, so
What? That's
I'll send
super
you.
cool.
I'll send you a picture because yeah, if you're looking
Yeah.
for some other new stuff, then you should check that out. What's up? We
We
got
love cards too. Yeah.
yeah, Alan from Climbing Comics is in the house. He says Monopoly Go. Is that what it's called? Maybe that's what it's called, Monopoly Go.
Maybe.
I think that's
That
what the name
sounds
of it is.
awesome, though.
Yeah.
Look
Fuzz-
into that.
Fuzzy says Monopoly takes way too long. I mean, sometimes, but hey, while we're all in this, when we were really in this pandemic and not being able to go anywhere for a long time, Monopoly was kind of I mean, all these board games are kind of a perfect way to like be able to still
Yeah,
have some fun and do some stuff. So,
for sure.
Anna, she plays for
I'm
keeps. There you go.
super competitive. So competitive.
You have to be. You absolutely have to be.
Oh
Me and my
man.
girlfriend, I don't hold back at all when we play
Oh
anything.
hell no.
Yeah, no. We played miniature golf recently. We went out and played miniature golf,
Oh my god.
and I'm like talking trash, and I don't hold back.
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah, love talking trash. I love it.
All right, let's see. Next question is so non-comic book related, what is your favorite film, or at least a film that comes to mind for you?
That's so crazy. I love Brad Pitt movies. I love classic Brad Pitt movies. Oh my god, I feel like a nerd. One of my favorite movies is called Legends of the Fall, which is a super old Brad Pitt movie, but I also love Legends of the Fall. And then Robin Williams, I love him too. When he died, I was like inconsolable. He's got a movie called he's got a movie called What Dreams May Come. That's one of my other favorite movies.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that
on the lighter side, I love 50 First Dates.
Yes.
And,
throw some Wedding Crashers in there. Yeah.
13 Going on 30. Those those movies.
Those are classics. Good. Very good. Let's see. I just saw. Oh, I just jumped. Oh yeah. So he says Monopoly Deal. I think that's the name of what I was thinking of. Louis says Legend of the Fall.
Yeah.
Fuzzy says Seven. Awesome.
I love any Brad Pitt movie. Seven.
And Sith Lordly says I used to own the Legends of the Fall soundtrack on CD. There you go. CD. Sith. What is CD? Explain that to me, Sith. What is that? Lucy is saying I love that movie with Robin Williams. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, Morbius is Goonies. That's another good one.
I've never seen the Goonies.
What? Oh my goodness! You have to put it on your list. You have to put it on your list.
Yeah.
Morbius is flipping out right now. He's like, what? He's got to be flipping out right now.
It's weird that I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of movies, but for some reason, that was my go-to makeup.
It's a good. There you go. He says, "Man, I'm even buying vinyl again." Oh, that's a danger. That's
not. I know.
Yeah, vinyl's a tricky. You could go down that rabbit hole for sure. Yeah, there's Morbius reaction there. You're getting now you're getting yelled at, Anna. Now you're gonna get yelled at. You have to. Lucy says you have to.
I will.
Thanks, Bobby. Steve's freaking out too. Hey, you guys. Yeah, there you go, Steve.
I totally exposed myself.
Yeah. You're going to get some messages later. They're going to be checking in on you saying, you better be watching that movie.
Seriously.
All right. So great choices there. Let's see. Couple of questions left before we wrap up here. If you could go anywhere in the world, you and your boyfriend traveling, if there's no pandemic, it's completely safe, completely free for an entire week vacation, where would you love to travel to?
Japan, dude. I would love to go to Japan. I love Japanese culture, their food, everything. We've also been wanting to go to, Scotland or Ireland, just like a really beautiful scenic area. But Ireland, man, just to smash some whiskey with some Irish folk and
I love it.
Crazy. Yeah.
So that's perfect. It ties into my next question. If I didn't know, I was going to ask if you drink, and if you do, what is your go-to drink of choice?
I love drinks, man. I love a good drink. We drink a lot of whiskey. We drink. I've been kind of making my way through all the different hard seltzers that have been coming out.
Okay.
I love trying and like ranking stuff. So I've been ranking all of the different hard seltzers. But if I'm gonna get a drink, it's usually some whiskey or ginny kind of thing. I love gin too.
Okay, cool,
Gin
cool.
and tonic.
I dig it. I dig it. One other question about music here. What was the best concert you ever went to? Or
Uh,
if you've gone to one? I know you say more recently you
yeah,
got into it. So I don't know if
man.
anyone
The
knows
only
about.
concerts I've really been to is Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy stuff.
Ooh,
But
bringing it back, bringing it back. Hey, I'm
they
guilty.
were
I've been to some of those concerts. I
they
went
were
to
my
Warped Tour back in the day.
favorite back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think a great show that I went to was like a Fall Out Boy Weezer concert.
Oh, Weezer is
Just
amazing
really,
live.
yeah, really good vibes on that show, and I enjoyed that one a lot. It was outside, it was raining, it
Mm,
was just good stuff, good stuff.
cool. Cool, cool. Fuzzy says he has a spare couch, spare sofa for you both to sleep on over in he's in Scotland. So there you go. Uh, let's see.
Yeah,
Rage and saying food is amazing in Japan. That
can't wait.
very cool.
Yeah.
So I think I have one last question for you here, and great segue as he mentioned food. What if you and your boyfriend is a Friday night? You can go anywhere you want, or you can order anything you want, or you could cook anything you want. What is your go-to meal, dinner meal for a Friday night?
I love your questions, dude. If it was my choice, if his opinion was not involved, it would
No,
be
it's your
some
choice.
sushi.
Your choice.
Some sushi, some
Sushi.
seafood thing. Dude, I could eat seafood any damn day of the week. I do not discriminate. Give me it all. I'll do a boil, I'll do raw, I'll
Raw.
do
Yeah. I just had sushi last night,
seafood.
actually. Oh, that's
So
great.
jealous.
So I'm gonna have to start
Yeah.
tagging you in some of my sushi photos when I put them on
Mhm.
my story there.
I love
That's so
sushi.
funny.
I could eat it every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Noodles, I could eat a noodle every day. Yeah.
There you go. Louis Logic saying sushi.
Yeah.
Morb, you missed it earlier. She said that
Yeah.
she would teleport. Man.
Teleportation.
Come on, bamfing her way around the world.
Mhm.
Steve says, Anna, you are dope. There you
You're
go.
making me shy, but thank you.
He is a big. Me and Steve talk sushi all the time. We are literally when we hang out one day when I go over the West Coast or if he comes to the East Coast, we are one of the first thing we're hitting up comic shops and we're hitting up sushi restaurants.
Oh,
That's like
man.
literally our day.
Send me an invite. I'd be happy to go too.
There you go. Yeah. So funny. Yeah, you got some other people here that are all about the sushi life too. Just had some SoCal sushi last night. Sith said.
So jealous.
Lucy here saying definitely one of my favorite sushi. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very good stuff. All right. So those are the questions I've had for you, Anna. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really enjoyed this. It was a long time coming. Hopefully I'll have to have you on again at some point, maybe to talk about some comics and things like that. I've been doing some other types of shows and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to have you on as a guest again at some point because this is a lot of fun. And definitely, like I said, if you're ever on the East Coast, if you're ever hitting up any of the cons later, you got to let me know. We'll have to meet up. It's really cool.
I would definitely love that, man.
Or if you go to an Opeth concert, you got to let me know.
It's in the works, man. Yeah. Once this pandemic's over, I'll be out and about.
That was actually, I should note, that was actually my last concert that I went to before the pandemic was an Opeth concert in the city, in New York City. Yeah. Literally, me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend started listening to them because she's not into metal, but she really enjoys them too.
Yeah.
So really entertaining. But yeah, just had to add that in. So before we wrap this up, I will give you the platform, give you the floor here. If you want to let the people know where they can find you, and if you have any events or anything coming up that you want to talk about.
Awesome. Yeah, man. You can find me mostly on Instagram is where I do most of my shenanigans and make a fool of myself pretty much every day. And it's so much fun. I'm also planning to hit up my YouTube channel again. I know that I've been absent for a while, but definitely something in the works. And Twitch as well. I've been getting into Twitch, doing some playthroughs of different games. Right now I'm playing The Last of Us 2 and playing a little bit of Battlefield 5. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely you can find all my links there on my Instagram page. I've got a link tree to everything and everywhere you can find me. Just don't stalk me. Just kidding.
Cool. Yeah. Seriously, guys, don't do that. Don't stalk her.
Don't go to my house, please.
Yeah. I love it. You're getting a lot of compliments here. People loving the interview. Highlight a couple for you guys here. Appreciate everybody hanging out.
You.
We got 26 people still hanging with us. Thank you so much. Oh, I saw Magic Lasso.
Thanks, man.
My man Magic Lasso in the house. What's up, Lasso? Good to see you as well. So thanks everybody watching right now. Really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you are subscribed to Anna. I put all her information in the description below. If you're here right now watching the replay, I always like to give a shout out. Thank you so much for watching the replay. You right now, you watching this replay. I do appreciate you taking that time to watch these interviews. I really do, because these are so much fun. So everybody here in the chat, thank you all so much. I will definitely be back next week. I think next week I'm going to have Comics Will Break Your Heart. Jennifer, she will be on as my guest.
Ooh, dope.
So looking forward to that. Yes, make sure you swing by. It'll be Saturday, probably 2:00, and we'll go from there. But thank you for the time shift, guys. Anyone that's joined us, I know this was a little different, but glad that we were able to work this out, Anna, and really excited. So again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And everybody else, absolutely. Everyone have a happy Saturday and a great weekend, and we will talk to you guys later.